G'day folks, Martin Lenihan here for Rugby League Week TV, joined by Rocco Luca. We're going to have a look at week one of the finals, the 5 things we learnt out of the weekend. Let's kick it off, Rocco, with the Bunnies. They are the real deal.
Absolutely. That performance against Manly, that you will not see a better 60 minutes display than the one the Bunnies put out on last Friday night. They were hard, they were fast, they just wanted it, and you can tell there's a hunger and desire in their play this year. They really want to end that premiership drought.
Yeah, they blew Manly off the park. I think we all got a shock. Lottie Takiri looked like he was 21 again. Johnny Sutton running wide there, brought back into the side. It's all coming together nicely for South. I don't feel like they're weighed down by history. I think, as we said, we learnt they're the real deal. They get a week off. Second thing we learnt, what about Des Hasler, the master of the best press conferences, the master of strategy, the master of the ambush.
Yeah, look, that team was given no chance of going down to Melbourne and causing a boil over, and a boil over is exactly what they did. That first 30 minutes, they completely ambushed Melbourne. Their forward pack dominated. They made the most of every opportunity. They forced errors, and Des has a lot to be commended for in that performance. Yeah,
absolutely. I think we learnt James Graham is an absolute beast as well, if you didn't know that already. We also learnt why it is so hard to go back-to-back and win premierships again. The Roosters now, after that narrow loss, back in the pack. They've got to play a rampant Cowboys side, and the winner of that has to play South.
Yeah, unbackable favourites before last weekend. Look, there was no faults in that team until they came up against a really hungry and a really determined Panthers side. And look, I wouldn't want to be the Roosters playing a surging Cowboys team this week.
Now, what we also learnt out of that game, folks, was Jamie Soward. I mean, this guy, he's clutch, big-time player. He's won a competition before. He's just thriving out there at Penrith. He loves the respect they're giving him. He's running the team. He just came through in the clutch again.
Definitely. If you're a Dragons fans, they'll definitely remember 2010 in that preliminary final against the West Tigers, kicking that field goal that sent him into the grand final, and it was shades of that again. And boy, he comes up big every time, and no doubt the buy of the year this year, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. A week off for Penrith now, looking fantastic for a first grand final berth since 2003. Bring it home with the 5th thing we learnt this week. Michael Ennis, let's go back to that Bulldogs game. We learnt that he is the most effective sledger, the best at getting under the skin of people. Now, whatever you thought of him patting the Australian captain on the head, Cameron Smith, make no mistake, this bloke is the master at upsetting opposition players.
Yeah, look, I think regardless of what you felt or how you feel about his game, it's effective. I mean, Cameron Smith, we've never seen him react the way he did, and he reacted out when Ennis patted him on the head, and it definitely put him off his game. It affected him, and it's effective. It was probably the play of the game, to be honest. So regardless how you feel, he's an effective pest.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think Josh Reynolds the same. He was back to his niggling best. They put Melbourne off their game. There was some terrible handling there by Melbourne. Cam Smith, the one that we talk about, was off the back of the scrum, first tackle. Just looked a shadow of themselves, I think. And all of this came about through Michael Ennis. He yaps at the ref, he yaps at the opposition. If it's going to get him a premiership, keep tapping blokes on the head, Michael.